It's the deck we were playing against with Civims. So basically what we're trying to do here is leverage a snow package to play Faceless Havens, in addition to cards like Frostbite that allows us to have cheap 1-mana interaction. The deck wants to go quick. You have a number of 1-drops in Fervent Champion and Fireblade Charger. Fervent can pump up Rimrock Knight, as well as Faceless Haven, which is every creature type. Robber of Riches ability also triggers with Faceless Haven, so you get that cool interaction. Otherwise, turn creatures sideways, smash as quick as possible, throw on a Cleave, double the damage with Torbrand. In the sideboard, Fire Prophecy as some removal, Roiling Vortex versus the slower decks, Sultai decks, Shredded Sails versus like Rogues, or even the Is It Tempo deck, or anything with like artifacts we want to get rid of. Weatherbrune Stone comes in against Sultai, the Genesis decks, the Rakdos deck, Soulseer for like Questing Beast and big creatures like Lovestruck. Embereth Paladin, Constructed All-Star, is really good against these Sultai matchups or anything with Soul Shatter, or the 5-mana Exile All Your Dorks. This is a 4-mana 5/2 haste. Cronin War to steal things, and then Oxes versus Rogues or the really grindy matchups. So let's take this to the ladder. Clerics was surprisingly not... I was expecting a dumpster fire. I think we were pretty competitive in all those matches. Like Rogues, they kind of got around us. We also missed a couple turns with lands where if we hit it, we would have been pretty good. Following this, depending on how long we run this one for, games should be quicker. Oh, Dogger Cubones. Another stream. Man, we're playing all the streamers today. That sounds fine. So Jengantha is usually sacrifice. Interesting. Oh, this is the Runes deck, maybe? Dogger Cubones does a lot of the MTGA zone. I needed a land there. So the problem is I don't want them to get going off that. So I think we just trade here. Really needed a land this turn. We wanted to double Robber. So what this deck's trying to do is with Runeforge Champion, get a bunch of runes, put it on Goldspan Dragon. Basically every card you play is free, and you just keep cycling and drawing through your deck. But I think this game just falling behind here. Yeah, I think we might just go to sideboard. Not being able to deal 3 here is a bit problematic. Yeah, let's just go sideboard. The old... Fire Prophecies... A Cronin. Trim down 1 Cleave... Probably Rimrock. Seems like the worst card in the matchup. Not the best showing to start off with, but if you're drawing more Ember Cleaves than you are lands, no interaction, but it's a pretty quick hand. In a pinch, we do have this smashing. So we're going to play this out next turn so we can attack with it, potentially. Not necessarily going to want to trade here. Guess I could have got a card out of their hand, but it feels pretty bad in that regard. I could smashing, tap this down, attack them for a lot. Can also faceless here. That is kind of annoying. Oh, my snowlands come into play tapped. Throwing in all that glitters on this Fireblade Charger is not bad. So they discard here. I guess that's just a blocker for Magistrate. This becomes 2/2. Shield Breaker won this. I think that's probably the right play. Gets rid of a blocker here. Hands have not been great this game. They notably don't have red mana, so it's a bit awkward them going Naya. Typically see this as a base Jeskai Vase version. Got a lot of removal here. All of them do tap down our opponents. Probably best draw is either Soulseer or one of our Frostbites. So I'm fine doing this. That takes him off card advantage. Most of the runes don't give toughness. So basically he's trading a card for one of my 1/1 tokens here, which I'm fine with. Next turn I have Bone Crusher to tap this down. Also have an attack with Faceless Haven holding priority. So they're getting Lifelink Ruin. So opponent stumbled on mana. So we're just going to punish them here. And they could have like a bunch of red-based removal, but as long as we're kind of attacking them, having an active gold spend is going to provide a lot of value here. Do I even want to expose this? Probably not. I want to have the snow mana up for Faceless here. Next turn I can all-out attack. Makes the block worse. Gives them lifelink. So they can hit me for 4. That puts them up to 10. Don't think we're doing that. Take your 4 life. Man, they got us that way. It gains them the life too with Wolf. So if we went with the block, they would have still had indestructible anyways, so it doesn't make a difference. So these are the lines you want to kind of think of in your head. Would your play have resulted in any different of a line? We're seeing the upside of this Faceless Haven. Just throw that on there. It would fall off Faceless, so don't want to do that per se. Runeforge is a bit annoying. Throw that on there, gives it 3 power. Being a 4/3 is relevant here. Oh. Does this matter? So 1, 2, 3. Activate. Are we at the part where math is for blockers? Okay, so we want to protect here. Because this is going to just get protection, so it would trade in combat anyways. So they're gaining 4, but they're taking 8 here. Yeah, Xaxes. Xaxes. Okay, so neither of us have had a good draw this game thus far. We still need the cleaves, I think. Shredded sails aren't that great. Vortex could be interesting, but also not great. Let's do it like that. Play 1 Rimrock. Like, admittedly, Cleave's good, but we need to assemble enough of a board state. Looks like it's our game to get mana screwed. Sand is good. I'm actually going to put the dragon away. I think it's important in this game for us to hit our line drops on curve. I would love, 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 love a 1 or 2 drop, please. Continue to love said 1 or 2 drop. On things that I would love. The 8-part miniseries. We're probably going to have to hold up the Soul Seer here. This is actually kind of difficult because we're actually, I think this turn going Annex here with no blocks. Hey Vanyan, how's it going? Our hand's like just straight been dumpster fire. Because my thoughts are next turn I could block Dranith. I can Soul Sear the Season Hallow Blade. Yeah, we're doing mono red on the ladder. We played Mardu Clerics. It was pretty good. Not like world beater by any accord, but was kind of interesting. I'm just going to do this now. Just in case they have a protection spell. I can't afford to have my thing die. Because even if they put this on here... Ordain... Gonna, if they're gonna give it to us, we'll take it. So block here. That's fine. Trade those off. Here. I think we keep what's in our hand. Done a nice job here stabilizing. I think that attack was a little bit aggressive. Like they're going to try to punk us. So they need a land. So depending what they do here, they can play out Jingantha. Seasons, that's fine. So we get tokens here. I wanted to get the Jingantha out of their hand. Okay, Cronin War will be good for next turn. So I think we're just doing this turn. I want them to equip this up so then I can take it. Because this will probably take most of their turn. So it gives us an opportunity here to get in for 6. Only thing that saves him here is Snakeskin Veil. Got him. Damn, that sucks. Did they do, were you put under or were you just local freezing? Mono red. Interesting deck. So Ruin deck, we didn't see the dragon, but it looks like they're using more of the green spells. I had my wisdom teeth removed like that. It's not fun when you're drinking water and it's just like spilling out the side of your mouth. Played a bunch of streamers today. Ooh, Danny Tachi, number 22 on the ladder. See what spice they're bringing. I'm always curious when people get like this high. So a variation of this mono red list was number 1 on the ladder. Yeah, sounds good. 1, 2, 3. Opponent's on Yorion, so they're on a slower deck, probably Sultai. So we are on the turn creature sideways plan. I'm actually probably just going to play out Rimrock Knight as a creature here. They're on Sultai, so we want to go as quick as possible. This lets me play Annex next turn. It also lets me play around Extinction Event better. So still no black source, which is nice. I think here this nets me more immediate damage, but plays worse if they have Extinction Event. This is probably the higher upside play, because it insulates me against random removal. So specifically where I get 2 points of extra damage in this turn, but against anything other than Extinction Event, I'm in a better spot. Are your wisdoms impacted, Ivanian, or are they just like out? Like mine were just out. They were just they were growing too far back. Okay, so we took a line and got punished on it. But I think we're just playing out here. Like, we have them dead on board next turn. Okay, so they just go binding, and they're dead. Cool deck opponent. That was through an Extinction Event. Cool deck opponent. Have you considered a basic mountain? Roiling Vortex, Paladin, bring in some Ox. So players can't cast spells from their library or graveyard. So I'm gonna cut the Cleaves. You can't do much with the Cleaves in this matchup. The Frostbites are largely useless as well. They're not really gonna have creatures. I think we just go like this. Go with the nice and simple. Turn your creatures sideways, attack in. That was us on the draw too. Turn 5 kill. Yeah, keep. Mana base is a little painful, but we have 3 turns of spells and we can shut off their bigger items. Okay, Tome. Seeing the Tome is interesting because that's going to mean that we may want Shredded. Nah, I don't even think so. If they're spending their time toming, whatever. This could be Conquer's or Elspeth's Nightmare. If your wisdoms are like local, sorry, if they're impacted, like are they stuck in your gum? So I'm doing this just to dump my hand so I can get a card off the top of their library. So we're dealing some damage to them if we draw land. Fortunately, we're a ways away from this Faceless Haven because we've drawn our two. We only play 2 Shatter Skull Smashings. We've done more damage to ourselves than we have to our opponent. That's a good one. I don't think I want to play this out because it's bad against both their sweepers. And I want to have a play regardless for next turn. And then also the option to shut off their tome. Because the 4 life in this matchup can be relevant. And now this gives them 2 things that they need to see with the binding. Can I have a land, please? I think we have to go the less efficient route here. I need to shut off this life gain. We're ahead on board. Alright, you got Shadow's Verdict. Yep. That was one of the downsides of what I was not looking to play into. So they probably have Ultimatum in hand if they hit the Weathered Runestone. This would be like a great turn if we were to rip, like if we had Snowlands, could have hit him for 4. Actually, they can't ultimate him then. Let's go Annex here. It'll give me tokens unless they have Extinction Event. I'm still winning this race. They technically can't ultimate him. They'll probably target this with a binding, which bodes well for us. If we draw land. Oh, opponent. Opponent. Opponent's about to find out something. Opponent didn't read all the text. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, you can have Kiora back. Always read the text. We went from 99% to 858. Oh man, what was that? 153. I gotta clip that for after. Oh, that's a good one. So I have a historic deck that I've been working on, and we can see if we want to play it, but I might just wait till Monday for it just because I don't want to run into Euro decks. It's a Jun mid-range, but with binding, you can get Trinomes and cast Nicol Bolas. So I don't want to necessarily take it to the ladder right now. Let's do maybe one more mono red, and then I'll just play in the play queue with it. I just don't want to... like yesterday I was running into a bunch of Uro decks, and it's not real practice to play against an Uro deck because the Uro's not going to exist. Okay, Cirquise again is on rogues. We know they are a dirty rogue player. Keep. Haha. These aren't the clerics you're used to. Always keep the same sleeves. Oh, come on. Literally all 3 lands I needed? This hand just needed lands. So I think the play here, play Fervent, attack with both, get the triggers, and then shock in the land. Not give them the information whether or not we have the land. I think we... just get that out of the way. It's a decent enough blocker. And I think what we're going to do is attack with both. Then play our land and play Annex, because in case I want a Bone Crusher or something. I think that's the best approach. Because if they drop a 1-3, I want to have Stomp available. Rogues should be a favorite. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, we actually played against it 2 games ago. This one was a Naya version. Dogger Qbones, another streamer, was playing it. He writes for MTG Arena Zone. Strasky was playing like a Jeskai version. I'm just missing one Runeforge champion. I'm just trying to crack it in a pack as opposed to... It's an easy block here. I'll take that. So basically anything in our deck's pretty much amazing at this point. So Rogie Rogues. Easy Ox. I don't think we want this. Shredded Sails. I don't think. Just Fire Prophecy. So Rimrock's pretty bad. We know we're cutting that. I think we're going to cut 2 Cleaves. Keep this. Do I want Rimrock? Rimrock attacks through better, but I think on the play we don't play that. It's one of the... I think you were playing... During early access, you made me play the Ruin deck, right? It was your version? I can play this. Interesting. I think we play Soulseer on the play. Let's do that. Yeah, it was one of the ones. I think you can have like real swings with that deck. Like it's similar to auras. Like you're either gonna look amazing or you're gonna look horrible. This hand's pretty good, but if we don't draw lines, okay, this hand's better. I'm gonna put Ox back in the library. At the bottom doesn't really help us too much, but Charger. This attacks better into a thing. And I think we're gonna Fire Prophecy this turn to kill. Yeah, especially now we're gonna Fire Prophecy. I want to find me an Ox, please. One time an Ox. How about you just draw 3 Annex? Needed a land there. Needed a land. 1, 2, 3 lands milled. So not even a heavy amount of lands. So they can flash in here. We're too far behind here. They got their engine going. We never hit our stuff. Torbrand seems particularly bad in this matchup. I think we're just doing it like this. So like that game we weren't dead that turn, but we weren't guaranteed a land. They had 7 power out. We couldn't attack through. And we just really weren't going to catch up. They were able to have priority up, any counter spells, anything like that. So let's go on the play, take the match as is. This is important, especially if you're laddering, you're trying to get up quick. It's perfectly reasonable to know when to call it a match. So Fireblade's not bad on one. If they have Crab, we can try to do the Bone Crusher line. How many Rimrocks did I bring? 2. Annex is okay in this matchup, not great. actually a decent draw. Floods, then we could just pump up our stuff. Lets us attack in better. So next turn, if they do drop crab, I have the option. Attacking in. We're also getting to the part of the game where this ox can just be cast from hand. Well, I guess we have priority anyways because of Bone Crusher Giant. They don't know if it's Fire Prophecy or Bone Crusher. Opponent wisely. I think we get this out now. Drop Annex. So what you want to try to do, if the land doesn't impact your combat step, wait to play out the land. Well, they hit a lot of our lands and not a lot of our spells thus far, so I think we're okay there. Would have liked both these Fire Prophecies, I can tell you that. I think we're just going to attacks here. Actually, here I should have played the land because I could have faked Embercleave. And I think my turn, regardless, is just going to be hardcast Rimrock Knight. And play out the Bone Crusher. Now it's different. So if they kill this, I still get to put a point of damage on the Rune Crab, and then I get the Bone Crusher Giant it. Which all these interactions... If you're gonna didn't say please on my Rimrock Knight, I'm happy with that exchange. Now I get to go Ox this turn. Force their hand again. It's actually an interesting line. I think we wait one more turn here. This is a good card to get into play, especially with Frostbite. Lets me kill any other creatures. Even if they sweep the board here, we still get 3 creatures. And that taps them out. 3 creatures, I could pump this up. So I want to wait for them to crack the passage. I think I want to go Ox this turn anyways. So they can crack this to get 3 more in the mill. My other line was wait till my turn. Okay, they just let it die. So I can do this. I think I like Ox here. Kind of surprised they didn't opt to at least mill me 3. It's pretty free. So even if they counter the Ox, I'm not too concerned because then I get to exile 8 cards from my graveyard and I get to play out this Robber as well. Perfect. That's a good draw. Lets me go this, play this, and then activate Embereth. So even if they sweep here, I have a pretty good attack. Rogues can't take their time when you're smashing them for 20 a turn, or a bunch a turn. Ox is a house in this matchup, even just hard casting it here. We traded a lot of 1-for-1. That feels great. Okay, so let's make sure we have enough mana here. So if I play, so 1, 2, 3. So I don't have enough for Fervent. So they block here. That's enough. Good games, good games. Nice. Got up to probably like 700-ish. Up to 550. Easy games. Alright, mono red. This deck's pretty good. Mono red. Snow red. It's a good one. So this is definitely something to keep an eye out for. If you want to go quick, we went up from 99% to 557. Relatively easy in a lot of our matches, so definitely something to keep in mind out. At this junction in time, if we're seeing less Love Struck Beasts, this could be a really reasonable